Okay, so I've been playtesting this scenario for a little bit, and it's unique because it's playing on two boards and we've split the team. So we've got our 5 hunters of the Nightwatch. I've got the Doctor and Sir Tyrazine, that's my melee companion, and the Weaver. And I've got my Seller, the dual-wielding pistol girl, Rom, the technically he's got an Uzi, and C4, the I keep saying alchemist, but what do they call him in this one? A right. In this mission, so I took the inspiration from the image of the creepy boy in the book, and I took the inspiration from the first mission in Hardwired or Exploit Zero, and that was a multi-objective mission. Now I've made it a bit harder by splitting it over two boards, but my multi-objective is so the story so far. The family of this house. It's not ruins. That is meant to just be the floor plan. So imagine a nice modern house here rather than ruins. I do not have a nice modern house terrain. So this is just a house and a garden, like you get in every horror movie. This is representing the boy. This is our nexus and objective point. And the story is this boy has been sort of possessed. So I'm kind of going with a fairy theme though. So this boy found a magic mirror or gemstone. He took it home and he started acting all weird and creeping out his family, started climbing on the walls, spouting off strange tongues, manipulating things with his mind and all that kind of fairy nonsense. So the doctors come to find out and see if he can calm this boy's brain and separate him from the strange alien menace and bring him back to his family. However, we were tipped off by the family that it was some sort of Fey intervention. So we know that there, from the history books, there's like a Fey mound or maybe a cave where the fairies come from. So if we can find and destroy their links to this world in the forest, we can also save little Timmy. This team needs to get in and free little Timmy. We can't do that until we have investigated 3 points of interest. Now, because we're separating this on 2 boards, I've done this differently in different playtests. Let's see how this one works. But I basically put 2 points of interest. One is a sword in the stone here, and the other one is this boxes and barrels here. Now, how I did that, I basically rolled a d4 and decided which quarter it's going to go in. I think I just rolled d4 and decided which quarter it's going with these, and surprisingly, it did come up opposite. I did the same with the spawn points. Now, I just rolled one spawn point and put the other one opposite. And also, I didn't want it just right in the corner. So again, I rolled a d4 for which corner of its corner it would be in. And so it's sort of slightly closer to the center of the table, if that makes sense. The same over here. I've got 2 interesting points of interest. This like relic pointing through the floor here, and that ruin over there. And just to make this teams a little bit harder, I'm starting with an enemy on the board. So just got 2 enemies there, the tree man and the spider. And I was playing around with this being like a D8 board and this being a D6 board, but I think I'm just going to play with D6s just to keep it simple for the video, but it is definitely something you can adjust and play on the fly. So, mission is explore 3 POIs and then try and get Timmy. Now, when we get to Timmy, he's going to spawn some enemies on top of him, as the fairies know that we're interacting. So they won't come directly. They will still come out of the spawn points every turn, but also once we break into the room, we'll have some bodyguards. The reason I say bodyguards is the first mission in Exploit Zero was get to the VIP, kill his bodyguards, disable his shock collar, whatever, and escort him off the board. So we're trying to do something similar on this board. We've got a little bit more going on. I'm also going to say that the door has been barred, so we're going to need to break through that. Or we could go around the outside and go through the back door, which is open. Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, I like the system because it's dead easy to play on the fly. As I say, it's just D6s, D8s, and D10s. These are my micro, I think they're 8mm or it might be 6mm dice. So let's go. Let's kick it off turn 1. So we're going to have Sir Tyrazine, the guy with a sword. He wants to move up. He's got a body of 5, so a body of 10. Uses a D10 on his body checks. So he can move 5. So that's going to, everything's half scale because I'm using smaller boards. He basically moves. He can have a free move. And another move will get him to the doorway here. So I'm just going to use a D6, which is about 60% chance of passing. If it doesn't just get cocked like that. 3, he's failed his move with a D6. So let's use a D8 to try and move. Right on the board. We've got an 8. So let's move up to there. And he's going to try and dismantle or break through the door. You can hear strange things going on with little Timmy. Let's break in. 10. We've broken through the door. So that gives the Doctor free reign. So the Doctor has spotted something interesting over here and think, oh gosh, fairy signs. There's something sparkling in the bush maybe. So he's going to go and investigate that. He can move. He's got a body of 6, so he's really slow. He's only going to move sort of 2 inches. Let's try and move him up again with a D6. He fails it. D8. D8 he passes. But because he's so slow, he's not quite there. He's going to use his D10 and just use all his turn moving. 3, he's failed it again. So he's being really cautious approaching that point of interest. Let's move over to here. So we've got 2 points of interest. And the spawn points are here. And there's another one, yeah, on top of that hill. Squirrely bit there. So because we're starting with an enemy on the board, I'm going to use Rom, the guy with the Uzi. He's going to move up. So I reckon he can get to there. And he's going to aim with 1 dice. So he's going to aim with his D6. 2, he doesn't manage to aim. Aim would have given them enemy -2 to its defense roll and +2 to my attack roll. So he's just going to roll. Let's just see how he rolls. So because he's a warden and he's a ranged specialist, he gets 2 dice, a 6 and an 8. So they both passes. Now the enemy needs to make a defense roll. I know it's a big chunky one, but I'm just going to give him 1 defense roll. And because this is my 3rd mission, I've also upgraded his Uzi with some magical powers. So he gets -1 to this roll. So he's going to need a 5. He rolled a 3. So that enemy is destroyed. So I think we used our D10, D6, a free move. I think we've still got a D8. Not much we can do with the D8. We're going to move up. Go on, I'm going to move up with it. A 4. Just off the camera there. I reckon we'll just get down to there. Right, have I got any sort of speed? Right, Rom is going to leg it. No, let's have the dual weeding try and take out the spider over there. So we'll have a free move. Let's see, we want to get closer, I think. Let's use a D6 to get closer. 1, they're not working today, D6 is. D8, oh, let's go into Overwatch. Let's just use a D8 and D10 to go into Overwatch for next turn. C4, he's going to use a speed potion. 3, he fails it. I think he gets 2 dice because he's a white. 4, he's passed it. Double check that rule. I think there should be more rolling 2 dice. To be honest, this game, I hate it when you just get a fail like that. So I think that gives me a +2. Have I got it here written down anywhere? What does the speed do? Oh, you can take a potion with a free move. Adds 2d6 to the character's dice pool. All right, so I've got 2d6. So I've got 3d6 now, and then a d8 and a d10. Pretty much let's move with all those d6s. I don't think I need to... Everything's a pass. So where are you, white? Where are you, white? Your move is 3, I think. Your move is 4, so 2. So 1, 2, 3. And what sort of weapon have you got? A pistol. There and there. What's the crash about? I only get 1d6 next turn or something like that. So I only get d6s next turn. So even though, yeah. Anyway, so let's try and finish off that enemy with our d8 and our d10. I might as well throw... I'll just use my Uzi. The Uzi's range is 12, so that'll be 6. Is he in range? Well, yeah, it's just in range. Let's chuck a D10 at it. 10 hits. So that creature needs to save. And again, this has been an upgraded weapon. So we go on a D6. And 4, needed a 5. So we popped off another alien. Pew. Okay, so that is the coming to the end of turn 1. All the heroes have moved. All the enemies on the board have been destroyed. So let's roll for new spawn points. We're still going to have spawn point 1, spawn point 2, spawn point 3, spawn point 4. Spawn point 2, so it's the far side of the house. Let's get a wispy fairy one. So no matter what model I'm using, they're all going to be D6s. But the reason I went for a fairy folk theme was my D10. I don't get to use these harpies enough, so they're going to be my evil fae, being activating as D10s. So we've got one enemy on the board up here. And he can come through the house. He can come through the house through this way, or he can come around this way. Anyway, and I've just rolled a 3 as well. So we've got an enemy coming on up the hill up there. So since this is a woodland, we're going to throw in a woodland creature who blends in very well with all these trees. I haven't really specified what statistic I'm giving to my enemies. I kind of do it off the fly, a bit of a whim, rather than writing in stone. I often make them small, so harder to hit, or wispy, or defended some way. I could potentially maybe give the barky ones +1 armor, but I hate things sticking around and being living, so I'm not keen on that. Maybe it hits hard, and I have to dodge and defend twice against it. I think that's savage in one of the rules. So we've got 2 enemies on the board. They get to act. They can do a free move, and they're going to move 3. They're just going to beeline straight towards me. To move again, it needs to roll a d6. 5, it's passed, and it can just stride over that. And we have an overwatch, don't we? I think he can't see because of this tree. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt there, and no one else is on watch. So let's move to the calm suburban house scene. Yeah, the closest one's down here. So and so again, it needs a d6 to move. 3, it's failed to move, so it's going to stop there. And that is it, turn 1. So turn dice to turn 2. So all the heroes' actions again. Let's focus on Sleepy Suburbs. So Doctor can free move up to here. And let's see if he can investigate this POI. He's got a flashlight, so he gets +2 to this, so he's going to literally need 2+. 2+, I'm going to use my d6 for that. 4. So we have investigated. So we've got a clue. Does he get anything else for that? I think it literally is just you've investigated. I think we're going to ignore him and try and move into the house. So let's do another move. I don't think there's any extra hunker down. So let's just use the 8 to move. 1, we failed it. Is he in range to get there? Boop, boop. Right, I'm going to give them a charge rule. So if they move into combat, they also get an attack. So I'm going to use a d10. I'm going to do a d10 to move, because if I move, I think I'm out of range. 9, yeah. But you're so slow, little man. Right. So Tirazine is going to make a beeline for the other point of interest to the other side of the house. I don't think he's really got any... Oh, I did say when I burst into the house, we're going to spawn some enemies. So let's move into the house. 6. And he's basically... He can do this. We see a little Timmy sitting on the floor. His eyes, his head is back to us. His head turns towards us. His eyes is glowing in a strange fairy fire. And as we say, Timmy, are you okay? Come with us. He says, Timmy is with us now. Dun, dun, dun. The horror! He speaks a strange tongue. Strange swirly portals appear, and two creatures appear right before Sir Tyrosine's eyes. Right, but it is still Sir Tyrosine's go. I'm not interrupting that. He can't use a grenade because he'll hurt Timmy. So he's going to use his pistol. He's not skilled like the ranged characters, so he only gets 1d. So he's going to aim. He's going to use his d8 to aim. 6, he's aimed, so he gets +2 to this, so he's going to need 2 plus on a d10, and they're going to get -2 to their saving throw. 8. I could have done two attacks there, it would have been just as good. But let's see if he can defend. 4 would have been good enough, but because of the aim, maybe good job we aimed, we've taken one out. The silvered bullets that we knew we needed for this Fey incursion sliced through and sent him back to his own world. But that is all his actions moved. I think he's got 3 moves, so he unholsters his weapon. It's going to go across the room. It's going to get to Timmy. I don't know. What are we doing there? So Timmy is now floating 4 foot off the ground, doing strange fairy things. And that is everyone's action on this table. Let's move to the forest. I don't think I explained my mission well enough on this video. Explore 3 points of interest so Timmy becomes a nexus. Free Timmy from the Fey control. Then one of these objective points. I've got 2 tokens. One's got a book on it, which is the objective, and one's got a monster on it, which will spawn a monster. And basically one of them is like the fairies links this world, and I've got to destroy it. But I can't destroy it until the fairy control of Timmy is relinquished. So that's my multi-objective. Break in. Find Timmy's magical charm, which is linking him to the fairies. Free him, his mind, from the fairies. Find the fairies link in the forest. Destroy it after Timmy's been freed. Quite convoluted. So take these, they weren't used. So it is important. I'm going to just try and see. We had a crash from drinking the speed juice last turn. So the white C4 droid only has D6s. I think I'm going to use all of them to try and move to that point of interest. Only one of them passed, so pretty much I got my free move and 1 move. Just blew it all in one go. So he's close to the objective over there. Find out if that is the fairy portal or something else. And these 2 gun-wielding wardens have got a tree bearing down on them. So I think we're going to use that Uzi. We're going to shoot at him, so we're going to aim as well. Aim with an Uzi, is that right? I don't know. So he's failed the aim roll. We're going to try and aim with the D8 as well. 8s, yes, we got it. So now I've got 2d10, needing +2, over 2. And they both hit, only you want to take 1. But it is an Uzi. So that's got a rate of fire of 2. And I'm pretty sure rate of fire means he needs to make 2 defense rolls. And he needs 5s because it's a magical Uzi. So he failed 1, passed 1, and that's it, taken out. But that is all his action pool used, wasn't it? It was apart from the free move. So with a free move, we'll move next to the points of interest. That doesn't give my Celia here much to do, but we do have a spawn point nearby, so she's pretty much just going to turn around. I don't know, I'm counting that as cover. Someone's campsite left behind. I don't think campsite is cover. Pretty much, let's cover. What can I do with movement-wise? Maybe just free move. I'll go a little bit. We can get around here. Range on a pistol. Let's have a look. Yeah, something pops out there. I can shoot it. So that is all the actions on this board. So it's enemy phase. We've got 1 enemy on the board. Let's spawn some more. So where's the D4 gone? We got a 1. So that is this corner of the house. Let's see, Spookly Spirit comes on. And another 1. 3, that is the tree folk again. I'm going to call this an alpha spider. Now, alpha has 2 wounds. And let's change it up. Let's say that's a shooting spider. Maybe it's going to shoot us with a web. Okay, now that everyone's going to get to move. Let's go to the house first of all. We've got a free move over here, so let's use a D6 because he can't do anything back there. He's failed it, so just one free move. He should come onto camera. Float into range. Woo-hoo. And this one has a D6 move. Gets him to that spot there. He's still in range. So, as I say, I gave him Frenzy, so if he charges, he can get an attack. He fails it anyway. And we've got the one in the house who's going to free move into me. Because he's engaged me, he's going to hit me. 4, he's hit me. I need to make a saving throw. It's a D6 needing a 4+. I rolled a 2, so I've taken a wound. So that means I don't get a D10 next turn. But because it used its free move and that's savage, it's going to attack again. 1, it failed it, luckily. That's quite lucky. That's all the enemies on that board. Let's do an enemy on this board. We're just calling it an alpha, and we're saying it's an alpha that can shoot. So we're going to move. We might even give it cover from that. And it's going to shoot. And it's going to shoot the one by the point of interest. So D6 to shoot. What did I just roll? 5. Definitely in range. So, again, no defense dice here. So D6 needing 4+. 5. We got it. Oh, you're not in. Can't see the rolling area there. 5. We got it. So he sees a caustic spitting venom and manages to avoid it. So that is then turn 3. Right, the 6-turn term limit, because I've sort of mucked up the rules so much by having the 2 boards and multiple objectives, I'm not too worried about hitting the limit. Maybe if it gets to 8, I'll be happy. But if it goes over 8, maybe I'll call it. So let's see. And we've got sort of additional enemies. You've got to think game balancing wise, what are the resources? So there's like movement, equipment, monsters you have to fight through. I mean, if this was a multi-level house and I was going into the bedroom, maybe, think about how much more movement it would have taken. Okay, let's see. Doctor, we want to focus on Timmy, but we do need that other clue. Right, Doctor. Gonna try and move. 6, so we've got free move and a move. 1. He peeks through a doorway. You can see fighting. So Terazine fighting with a fey creature. And his free move. Get up to the... And then he's going to whip out his Uzi. Is he going to aim? Yeah, he's going to aim. He's aimed with his D8. And he's going to then shoot. I think you can shoot into combat. Anyway, we are shooting into combat. We take him out. So it's going to roll defense dice with a minus because I aimed. Again, he would have passed because I aimed. That's failed. And the magic. Boom. Very explosive. Very fast. I haven't been using aim. Aim is a good thing. And it gives you more options. It makes your less magic endowed characters, gives them something else to do. And that's for magic characters as well. He could have healed him, but well. So we've only got a D6 and D8 for Sir Terazine. He's going to use his D8 to heal with his bandages. He's failed it. Oh, that's annoying. He's going to use his D6 to heal. Failed it. Okay. We're just going to toddle off to the back door anyway with our free move. We'll try and get the doctor to heal him next turn. Where's all the action going on here? Pretty much the spider and the objective in the far corner. You can see that. Right. The objective is a bit more important, so C4 droid is going to move up to it and investigate it with his scanner. We're just going to use a D6 to investigate. 4, we've passed. So we've now got 2 clues. And as I say, I'm going to choose one of these. It is a monster. Lurking out. So that means that this one is going to be the one that we're going to need to destroy. We've got a monster on us. So we've only used our free move and a D6 so far. So we've got D8 and a D10 action left. And you're a white. I'm going to try and do the same. Maybe just aim and shoot. Aim, we've got it. So D10. 10. Wow. My dice have not been rolling this hot for a while. D6 to defend. Ooh, 6. He's alive. Bang. But that's all my dice used with no defense. Right, if I investigate this one, then we can start investigating Timmy, the Nexus. And let's do that. I'm going to investigate with a D6. 3, we failed it. Investigate with a D8. 3, we failed it. Oh, investigate with a D10. Yes, we passed it. Right, we've got our 3 clues now. This has been investigated, and we know with the other token, it is the one that we're seeking. We found the link to the fairy hold. Let's take that. So we've now got Mycelia, the dual wielding. Let's see how dual wielding works then. Let's do a free move and get closer. I think there is something about range. I want to get around here, so maybe it's not in cover. I'm going to use my D8, but because I'm dual wielding, I can also add 2D6. And because I'm a specialist in ranged weapons, all these are double dice. So that should be 2 hits, 1 with the main weapon, 1 with the offhand weapon. And that creature's going to need to make 2 saving throws. Passes 1, loses the other, but we did give it an alpha status, so it's got 1 wound. And you've also got to watch the number of times you can use these weapons, but this is pistols, so they have three uses. You can shoot them 3 times with all your dice. Uzi, you can only shoot twice, like shotguns and things like that. Again, so I'm using my D10 to shoot it. Both of them are hits. Passed 1, failed the other, so that's 2 wounds, even the alpha's gone down. Righty-o. Pretty much I think that was all my actions there. Free move, D6. I think I've got 3D6 for some reason. So I'm just going to dodge for pretty much no reason. Enemies. Let's spawn some enemies on the table. 1. That's the one over in the house. Over here. Another one coming in through that portal. And 3 again. They're all just coming through the same places. We'll have another tree monster. Come on. And let's do actions for them all. Pretty much all the fairies on the board here are just going to move. So I'm just going to roll. There's 3 of them. I'm going to roll 3d6. And they'll be on the if it's this the one nearest this side, it's going to be that one. If that makes sense. So he's failed it. The middle, these 2 have passed it. So he's just going to get his free move. He's actually going to go through the back door. This one's got 2 moves. 1 gets him to there. 2 gets him into the doorway. And this one will get just behind him if he passes. So Doctor's got 2 enemies. This could be the time for a spell. I like it when enemies bottle up like that. Bottleneck. What are we enemies over here? Little C4 droid is in trouble. Over here. So monsters don't aim, I don't think. So 6 is hit me. I've got no dodge and defense, so let's roll 3. Again, we've got another wound over here on the droid. Then it can't do anything with its free move. Big one. Let's roll 4. So he's going to get 2 moves. 1, 2. So somewhere comes charging out of the forest. Imagine this is at night and it's all creepy. You just see this big black shape running towards you. All branches and spiky and scratching. And that's it. I think we're on to turn 4. Nice and fast. Right. Because we have 3 points of interest now. Timmy's going a little bit crazy. Glowing and chanting. So we're going to need to break him and try and get 3 successes or 3 failures to bring him back down. So Sir Tirazine. If the Doctor moves away, he could throw a grenade. And the Doctor can concentrate on him, maybe. Because we're not in combat yet. Doctor, right. Free move, Doctor. Is that close enough? Yes. Timmy, get your sonic screwdriver out. And let's try and calm. Now, I think I've got something about nexuses. I can do an automatic pass. on a Nexus. So I'm going to use my D6 and give myself an automatic pass. I'm going to use my D10 to try and interact with the Nexus to get another one. 5, so we passed it, and I think I get +2 possibly from something in my pockets. And I'm not going to use a D8. I'm going to use my D8 to instead turn around and cast a spell at these guys because I'm a Weaver. And I've got a weapon. It's a teardrop. And you minus the... I'm going to use 3 of my charges. So I've used my D10. I've got my D8 left. I'm going to use my teardrop on these 2 guys here. So I just need a +4, I think. Because I'm a Weaver, I get 2 dice bonus. So imagine I've dropped a teardrop. I do have a small one somewhere, but I'm pretty sure it would be in range. Those 2 need to make a saving throw, and because I put 3 of my charges into this, they've got -3 defense, so they should be burnt up to a crisp. Enchanty Maxo. This gives us Cyrantine a chance, so we still want to heal him. Actually, we could call it an end. If we don't heal him, he uses his free move to get close. He uses D8 to interact. He passes. We've got 3 passes. We've calmed Timmy down with no successes. Now, how do I want to play this scenario? Maybe for video purposes, I just want to get it over with, but we could have said we now escort him off the board. But now he's free from the control. We are free to assault and break the artifact linking the fairies to this world. So let's just go straight over to here. He's going to try and break this artifact. A 4+ is all we needed. And the link to the Fey realm is broken. And all the fairies suddenly scatter back to their own domain. How was that? It kind of works. I'm going to write this down. I'm going to try and put it on a PDF and link it maybe into the Facebook group or maybe just a sort of Google Dropbox. I don't know. So yeah, what do you think? So could have eked it out a little bit more. Could have said, get off the board. Is it too convoluted? I think originally I just had get in, treat him as a Nexus, and then break the artifact. And I seem to do it well before turn 4. I introduced D8s, and they were really quite hard, but that's when I started to learn to use aim and such like that, and dazzlers. It just felt like there was more going on. It was more of a story. And when you're playing it solo and just playing it through and not doing it on a camera, it just feels better and more narrative as well. So the idea was you just have a house. I even had that on a smaller board. It was literally just the house. So there's even less movement. I kind of like the double-sized board thing. Something I want to play around with. I like the 2 teams interacting. I mean, I didn't do any role-playing and saying like we're over the radio chattering, saying, Timmy's down, break the artifacts, find the artifact kind of thing. I could have made this a loot 4 positions, maybe. That would be a bit more exciting rather than just 2, but this one was like a simple version. I kind of liked it. So yeah, I do like when nightmares come. I still have that irk of that. It feels like there's only one mission in there, so make your own. And he does say in the rules, go make your own. I've always liked it, the whole Nightwatch hardwired. I do wish there was more dice for rolling double dice for moving, like there was in hardwired. I'm sure it's something I can come up with it and think about. But it does feel like I'm like remodding the game and just making it something completely different. But the core mechanic of D6, D10, D8 is kind of nice. It's really easy to think about. I'm not having to worry about monster stats too much. I mean, I do feel like I should have given some of these monsters 2 features, like, and have a way of deciding when an alpha comes on, whether it's going to shoot at me or it's just going to be a melee creature. They're things that I'd like to have baked into the rules rather than just coming up with them yourself. So yeah, Mark's Dice Tales. This has been When Nightmare Comes, but my own custom scenario based off a scenario that was in the first Hardwired book. but change to be more Scooby-Doo. Fancy when nightmare comes. So yeah, Mark Sisdale signing off. Goodbye. Oh, just one more thing. So in this mission, because there's so much going on, I didn't have any way of really extracting Arcana. Now, I have a feeling I'll probably just say I'm going to give myself 6 Arcana and 6 whatever the other. Basically, if you pass the mission, you just get 6. And yeah, we'll work into that. Maybe, because it just seems... Did this feel too easy? Let me know in the comments below. Did it seem too easy? Or did it seem just right? It was 4 turns. And like I say, the game has 6. We could have spent 2 turns getting off the board, I guess. And we could also say maybe when Timmy's down, the D8s come out. Well, technically, turn 5 and turn 6 would be when the D8s come out anyway. But I don't see that really having too much of an effect. So thanks for watching again. Goodbye.